Welcome. Descriptive statistics. Statistician information name. Sakshi Tukaram Cute Free BSc, Cs, Div. F roll number, 51. Indian statistician. C. R. Rao was born on September 10, 1920, in Hadagali, Bellary district in a Telugu family. He joined the EC as a student when it was set up by Dr. P.C. Mahanobalais when statistics as a subject was still in its early years and yet to be taught as a distinct subject at the postgraduate level. Having taught and researched at the Indian Statistical Institute, ISI, Kolkata, Dr. Rao pioneered several fundamental statistical concepts such as the Kramer-Rao inequality and Rao-Blackwellization. Concepts that appear in undergraduate textbooks on statistics and econometrics. Dr. Rao was also a member of several government committees for the development of national statistical systems, statistical education and research in India. He served as chairman of the Committee on Statistics, 1962-69, chairman of the Demographic and Communication for Population Control, 1968-69, chairman of the Committee on Mathematics, Atomic Energy Commission, AIC, 1969-78, member of the Committee on Science. Samarendranath Roy. Roy was the first of three children of Kalinath Roy and Suniti Bala Roy. 1. His father was a freedom fighter and the chief editor of the newspaper The Tribune, then publishing from Lahore. During the Jallianwala Bagh massacre in April 1919, The Tribune published a news report titled, Prayer at the Jama Masjid, on 6 April 1919. For this offense, Kalinath Roy was sentenced to imprisonment of 2 years along with a fine of 1,000 rupees. Roy was married to Bani Roy and had 4 children, Prabir, Subir, Tapong and Sunanda. He died while on holiday in Jasper, Canada. Pothoff, R.F. and Roy, S.N., 1964. A generalized multivariate analysis of variance model useful especially for growth curve problems, Biometrica, Vol. 51, pp. 313-326. Roy, S.N., 1957. Some Aspects of Multivariate Analysis, New York, Wiley, Roy, S.N. and Sarhan, E.E., 1956, on Inverting a Class of Patterned Matrices, Biometrica, 43, 227-231. R.F. and Roy, S.N., 1964, A Generalized Multivariate Analysis of Variance Model Useful Especially for Growth Curve Problems, Biometrica, Vol. 51, pp. 313-326. Mahalanobis belonged to a prominent Bengali Brahmin family of landed gentry in Bikrampuर, Dhaka, Bengal Presidency, now in Bangladesh. 10, 11. His grandfather Gurucharan, 1833-1916, moved to Calcutta in 1854 and built up a business, starting a chemist shop in 1860. Gurucharan was influenced by Debendranath Tagore, 1817-1905, father of the Nobel Prize-winning poet, Rabindranath Tagore. Gurucharan was actively involved in social movements such as the Brahmo Samaj, acting as its treasurer. Mahalanobis Memorial at ISI, Delhi. Jainta Kumar Ghosh. He obtained a BS from Presidency College, then affiliated with the University of Calcutta, and subsequently a MA and a PhD from the University of Calcutta under the supervision of H.K. Nandi. He started his research career in the early 1960s, studying sequential analysis as a graduate student in the Department of Statistics. Among his best-known discoveries are the Bahadur Ghosh-Kiefer representation, with R.R. Bahadur and Jack Kiefer, 3, and the Ghosh-Pratt identity along with John W. Pratt. Bayesian inference, asymptotics modeling and model selection, high-dimensional data analysis, non-parametric regression and density estimation, survival analysis, statistical genetics, elected member of the International Statistical Institute, advisory editor, Journal of Statistical Planning and Inference, fellow of the Indian National Science Academy, life member and director of the Calcutta Statistical Association, fellow of the Indian Academy of Sciences, Japanese Society for Promotion of Sciences Fellowship, 1978 Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize for Science and Technology, 1981 President, Statistics Section of the Indian Science Congress Association, 1991 President, International Statistical Institute, 1993 Mahalanobis Gold Medal of Indian Science Congress Association, 1998. Invited Speaker of the International Congress of Mathematicians, 1998, 5, P. V. Sukhatme Prize for Statistics, 2000 Mahalanobis Memorial Lecture, State Science and Technology Congress, W. Bengal, 2003D, SC. H. C. B.C. Roy Agricultural University, W. Bengal, India, 2006 International Indian Statistical Association, IISA, Lifetime Achievement Award, 2010, 6, Padma Shri, 2014, by the Government of India. Foreign statistician Ronald A. Fisher, Carl Pearson, Gertrude Cox, Florence Nightingale. Foreign statistician Ronald A. Fisher, Carl Pearson, Gertrude Cox, Florence Nightingale. Augur in 1918 he published The Correlation Between Relatives on the Supposition of Mendelian Inheritance, in which he introduced the term variance and proposed its formal analysis. 24. He put forward a genetics conceptual model showing that continuous variation amongst phenotypic traits measured by biostatisticians could be produced by the genetics and quantitative genetics. This was the first step towards establishing population genetics and quantitative genetics, which demonstrated that natural selection could change allele frequencies in a population, reconciling its discontinuous nature with gradual. In 1925 he published Statistical Methods for Research Workers, one of the 20th century's most influential books on statistical methods. 31. Fisher's method. 32. 33. Is a technique for data fusion or meta-analysis, analysis of analyses. This book also popularized the p-value, which plays a central role in his approach. Fisher proposes the level p equals 0.05, or a 1 in 20 chance of being exceeded by chance, as a limit for statistical significance, and applies this to a normal distribution, as a two-tailed test, yielding the rule of two standard deviations, on a normal distribution, for statistical significance. 34. The significance of 1.96, the approximate value of the 97.5 percentile point of the normal distribution used in probable. Carl Pearson Foundations of Statistical Hypothesis Testing Theory and Statistical Decision Theory. 41. In the seminal, On the Criterion, paper, 41, Pearson proposed testing the validity of hypothesized values by evaluating the chi-distance between the hypothesized and the empirically observed values via the p-value, which was proposed in the same paper. The use of preset evidence criteria, so-called alpha-type 1 error probabilities, was later proposed by Jerzy Neyman and Egon Pearson. Chi-distance, a precursor and special case of the Mahalanobis distance Pearson system of continuous curves. A system of continuous univariate probability distributions that came to form the basis of the now conventional continuous probability distributions. Since the system is complete up to the fourth moment, it is a powerful complement to the Pearsonian method of moments. Method of moments. Pearson introduced moments, a concept borrowed from physics, as descriptive statistics and for the fit. Gertrude Cox in 1939 Cox was appointed Assistant Professor of Statistics at Iowa State College. 6. In 1940 Cox was appointed Professor of Statistics at North Carolina State College, now North Carolina State University, at Raleigh. There she headed the new Department of Experimental Statistics, the first female head of any department at this institution. 5. In 1945 she became Director of the Institute of Statistics of the Consolidated University of North Carolina, and the Statistics Research Division of the North Carolina State College, which was run by William Gemmell Cochran. In the same year of 1945 Cox became the editor of Biometrics Bulletin and of Biometrics, and she held this editorship for 10 years. When prolific statistician and eugenicist Ronald Fisher founded the International Biometric Society in 1947, Cox was one of the foundation. In 1960 she took up her final post as Director of Statistics at the Research Triangle Institute in Durham, North Carolina. She held this post until she retired in 1965. 6. After retirement, then worked as a consultant to promote the development of statistical programs in Egypt and Thailand. Florence Nightingale. In 2001 and 2008 the BBC released documentaries that were critical of Nightingale's performance in the Crimean War, as were some follow-up articles published in The Guardian and The Sunday Times. Nightingale scholar Lynn MacDonald has dismissed these criticisms as often preposterous, arguing they are not supported by the primary sources. Florence Nightingale OMRRCDSTJ, Natal, the 12th of May 1820 to the 13th of August 1910, was an English social reformer, statistician and the founder of modern nursing. Nightingale came to prominence while serving as a manager and trainer of nurses during the Crimean War, in which she organized care for wounded soldiers at Constantinople. 4. She significantly reduced death rates by improving hygiene and living standards. Nightingale gave nursing a favorable reputation and became an icon of Victorian culture, especially in the persona of the lady with the lamp, making rounds of wounded soldiers at night. Nightingale arrived at Selimiye Barracks in Scutari early in November 1854. Her team found that poor care for wounded soldiers was being delivered by overworked medical staff in the face of official indifference. Medicines were in short supply, hygiene was being neglected, and mass infections were common, many of them fatal. There was no equipment to process food for the patient. Thank you. Name: Sakshi Tukaram Cute Free BSc, CS, Div, F roll number 51.